Hello and welcome to CEB. Today we will discuss grammar that we have to convert into CNF. So this question, this grammar is given that we have to convert into CNF. So what are the steps? First of all, as we can see, there are many unit productions. So we start with the last production where we are having C is producing S and C is producing epsilon. So as C is producing S, we will substitute the values of S or the production of S here. So we will get the production of S, production of C here. Now, second production is B is producing S. So again, B is producing S and S is producing the same value. So this will become the production for B. Now B is producing A. So we will put the values of production of A, where we can find that A is also producing C. So B is producing A is producing C. C, we can say that in the production is producing S, and S for the value of S is the same thing, that is 0, 0, A0, 1, B1, BB, and because of this same C is producing uh, S also, and C is producing epsilon. So this epsilon is also added in the production of B. Now the first one, that is S is producing the same thing. Now after the removal of unit production, what we can see that we are going to remove the intermediate, we can say the production. So here S is producing S. So what we are going to do, we are going to remove the S here, and we are having the final solution. C is producing this value 0A, 0, 1B1, BB, and epsilon. Now B is producing S, so we will remove S here, and we will get the value of production of B. Now if we are going to see the value of the production of B, here we are having two production for B. One is producing the same value without epsilon, and other is producing the same production with the epsilon. After combining both the things, we will get the production of B as 0, A0, 1B1, 0, BB, and epsilon. For A is producing C, and C is producing S and epsilon. So we will cancel the intermediate production of A, which consists of C and S, and what will get the production of A is producing 0, A0, 1B1, BB, and epsilon. And the final production of S that contains the same values, that is 0, A0, 1B1, and BB. Now if you are going to see your grammar again, there we can find the epsilon. Now there is the now what we are going to do, we are going to remove the null production and epsilon production. After checking this thing, the C production, we can find that C is having two values, that is all the values that from 0A, 1B1, and BB, and the epsilon. So what we are going to do, we are going to substitute the value of epsilon, all the production which are having the values of epsilon, that we are going to substitute here. So A is also having epsilon value, and B is also having the epsilon value, plus C is also having the epsilon value. So here in the production of C, we can say that we are having A also, we are having B also, we are having B two times. What we are going to do, first of all, in order to remove the null production, we will write the production as it is. So here these three values will be written as it is, like 0A, 0, 1B1, and BB. Now we are going to substitute the value of epsilon in this production. So if you are going to put the value of A, this epsilon, so we will get 0, 0, and after putting the value of B in 1B1, we will get 1, 1. And if you are going to, we are having two B's here, and whenever we are going to substitute the value of epsilon, so what we are going to get, we will get single B in the either form. For example, if you are putting the value for the first B, if you are putting epsilon, we will get B, and if for the second B, if you are putting epsilon, so in either case, for the second B also we are putting epsilon, then also we are getting a single B. So in either case, we are going to get the single B. So we are putting single B here. But this single B itself is a unit production, because C is producing now single B, and B is producing what? It is producing the same thing. So here we are going to remove the unit production, and we will get the same value again in the C production. So no need of writing the same thing again and again. That's why we have written these values only once. Now in the case of B also, we are having the value of A, that we are going to write as 0A0, and 1B1 double B. Now we are going to put the value. In order to consider the epsilon, we are going to write all the values without putting the epsilon. Now the time to put the epsilon. A is having epsilon ka value, so after putting epsilon here, we'll get double zero. B is also having the value of epsilon, so we'll get double one. And this double B is also having the value of epsilon, so that also we are going to get the single B. So B is producing B that already we had considered, that is the unit production, and after putting the value of B, we will get the same value. So no need of writing again and again. Again, A is having the same value, so same A0, 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 1B1, double B, and again 0, 0, and 1, 1. Okay, and again we are going to get B that we are going to cancel. Now the last production is S. S is also having the same value A0, A, A0, A0, 1, B1, double B, and so on. Because this S is not having any epsilon, so we are not going to have any further value for epsilon. Now, but here A is having epsilon value and B is also having the epsilon value. So what we are going to get? We will get the double zero and double one. And again, we are going to get single bit, so that we have removed because that is of the unit production. So after the removal, we will get these types of values for your production. Now, one more thing that is present here, that your C variable is not reachable from anywhere, because S is producing in the production of S, we can see the value of A and B, or we can say the terminal, non-terminal A and B. In the production of A also, we are finding the non-terminal A and B, which are having some values in the form of terminal either double zero or double one. So A and B we can say are directly reachable from S, whereas C is not connected with S, or we can say it is not having the connection from the start symbol, because we are not having any connection between S and C. So this C we can say is a useless production that we have to remove. So what will be your final answer? Your final answer will be the production of S, A, and B. So hope you people have understood the concept of conversion of the given grammar into CNF.